What is up, family turkey trotters and daughters who, well, have absent fathers? Happy Thanksgiving. Yes, it's the one day of the year, well, where Americans gather around the dinner table to avoid eye contact while silently calculating how much money they have left after groceries, gas, and quote unquote unexpected fees on literally everything. And while speaking of not having enough, the job market this year's seasonal hiring is so bad. Even Santa's like, man, maybe I should have gone to law school and maybe these elves, I should have put them in GED programs because we're going to have to start making some layoffs. Usually, November is when the economy throws unemployed people a bone. Like, here, Tyler, hold this scanner at Target and we'll hire you for about 6 weeks. But don't worry, we're going to call it Christmas cheer to justify this to our board members. But not this year. This year, retailers basically said, we're good. The robots in self checkout aisles can probably handle this because, well, we don't need people anymore. So let's go ahead and kick these things off with the job market. Basically, it's the turkey of this season. It's dry, it's completely overcooked, and while it's hard to swallow, but you'll never directly come out and say that to your mom. So, seasonal hiring is at its lowest since 2012, which is also the last time a lot of millennials felt happiness. Coincidence? Who knows? I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I guess we're just going to have to wait and find out. Retailers are actually hiring so little this year that even the Grinch was like, damn, that's cold. And as you know, he's a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Target won't even give numbers. That's how bad it is. You know it's bad when we won't give numbers because look at what Trump did with the jobs report. He hid those numbers. Look at what we did when we got the jobs revision back in August, and everyone thought everything was fine until we found out we were actually losing almost 900,000 jobs. Walmart even came in and said their plan is to give extra hours to already existing workers. That's great because nothing more that a full-time greeter at Walmart wants than to have to abandon his family on the holidays, the one time he gets to come out of his mom's basement and spend time with the family. Instead, he gets to go to Walmart and come back and be like, welcome to Walmart, I'm Tyler. Anyways, this is corporate HR language for we don't want to onboard your ass because it costs more money than it saves us. So, because honestly, hiring these people is way more expensive. And if that is a signal that things in the economy aren't necessarily going well, that could be the beaming light that everybody is needed to see at this point. So keep that in mind while we're talking about this. You know, the economy is weird when people want seasonal retail jobs. Like people are actually wanting these jobs. These used to just be, hey, I want to, make some extra money so I can buy the kids what they want for Christmas. And this is basically like voluntarily joining a war zone, but instead of bullets, you're dodging middle-aged women asking for price matches. And well, there aren't any more the good old days of Walmart trampolines, or not trampolines, but tramples, or people waiting all night for Black Friday deals, because let's be honest, Black Friday's been a flop for the last 5 years. But guess what? Job seekers, they're up 27% right now, meaning Americans aren't just hungry for turkey, they're hungry for a paycheck, a purpose, validation, or maybe just somewhere warm to stand. Because if you live where I live, like in Michigan, well, being inside is basically your best option during the holiday and seasonal year of the winter because it is cold as balls. It was 22 degrees this morning when I woke up, by the way, and my car is iced over. So I'm going to have fun defrosting that later. Yet, guess what? Postings are only up 2.7% right now. That's not a job market. That's a Black Friday sale on depression. So who knows? Maybe we get one of these drug companies to put some RSIs or SRSIs or whatever, SSIs, whatever they're called, those depression medications. Maybe we should run a Black Friday sale on those. Just a thought. Anyways, that's not the only place where we're seeing a slowdown in hiring and with jobs. Layoffs, tariffs, and AI, it's the unholy trinity right now. And it's affecting a lot of your favorite companies with major layoffs hitting the board almost every week at this point. Layoffs are almost like drafts at this point. I'm just waiting to see who's going to come next. Who's next to lay off 6,000, 10,000, 12,000 people? Now, let's go run down the list of the layoffs we know of so far. It's not just fewer holiday jobs. Layoffs are popping up everywhere like Aunt Carol's Facebook conspiracy theories. We're not even going to get into that. HP, they're cutting up to 6,000 jobs. Verizon, well, they're cutting 13,000. GM is cutting 1,700. Paramount is cutting 2,000. UPS is cutting 48,000. Amazon is cutting 14,000. Target is cutting 1,800. Nestle is cutting 16,000. Microsoft is cutting 15,000. And Intel is cutting, well, just thousands. They couldn't even give us a number. At this point, corporate restructuring is just corporate for we found a way to make Chat GPT or one of these AI models do your job for you. So I would rather pay the enterprise plan edition than have to pay you $60,000 a year plus benefits for you to do a job that I can train a large language model to do. Crazy, right? We used to outsource jobs to China, India, the Philippines. Now companies outsource jobs to NVIDIA GPUs, Google TPUs, AI, AMD chips, and whatever else they can do. And I don't know if they're using Google TPUs right now, but I definitely can see that coming into the pipeline of the next outsource location. Because nothing screams happy holidays like being replaced by a chip designed to help robots learn empathy. Talk about the irony here, folks, because this layoff market, I think we're just getting into it, and we're going to see a lot more moves and a lot more restructuring coming down the line going into 2026. And while speaking of 2026, we have the K-shaped economy that's coming in next, where the wealthy get champagne and everyone else gets the baster. Wall Street thinks the S&P 500 is going to 8,000 in 2026. 8,000. What? That's not a price target. That's an total plot twist. Go ahead where that like record scratches. That's basically what just happened. Someone spilt beer on your mom's favorite carpet, and now everyone's looking around like, what do we do now? They're calling it a K-shaped economy, and you don't need a finance degree to understand it. Basically, rich people go up and poor people go down. The top half, my portfolio is up 800,000. And the bottom half is basically going to be like, I hope this deli still hires seasonal help. That doesn't really sound like a great economy that we want to exist in, right? Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, and HSBC, they're all saying AI will keep the bull market charging. But that also that AI might inflate in inequality, destabilize the economy, and devour entire industries. But hey, that's bullish, right? Bullish for the stock market, even though your average Joe will not be able to invest in the stock market because they won't have a job to fund it. But hey, that's their problem. That's not the top's problem. That's not the 1%'s problem, right? I mean, it's not like we live in a land of opportunity, which is called America. But I guess that slogan kind of went out. Now it's the land of opportunity for the top 1%. Now, speaking of bubbles and the AI trade, Silicon Valley's AI bubble is starting to grow, but it just now has more Botox being shot into its face or other body parts. In Silicon Valley, no one cares about economic uncertainty. They just care about high evaluations and who can spend the most money the fastest while justifying it without scaring the crap out of investors. Founders are out here raising billions in days, and that's billions with a B, Bobby, not millions, billions with a B. You know how insane that is? Most Americans can't raise $400 for an emergency right now. But a guy in a Montclair vest can raise $1 billion by saying the phrase reinforcement learning, AI, agentic AI. Like, what are we doing here, people? This is insane. Venture capitalists are so terrified of missing out that they're skipping due diligence at this point entirely. Not even like, oh, we'll just skim through it. They have FOMO like someone who is trying to wait up all night and buy Coachella tickets. This is insane. Think about these deals like Tinder dates with term sheets. Like they're just swiping left and right on a Tinder profile. Like, oh yeah, heart this one. Nope, dump that one. And that's exactly how much thought these people are putting into these investments. Go and look at our AI companies right now. Most of these companies don't even make revenue. Apparently, OpenAI would have to raise like $270 billion by 2030 and they would still be losing money, but they need to raise that 270 just to spend that $1 trillion that they essentially would need to justify their evaluation. Oh, and by the way, speaking of Chat GPT, China released its own version of a Chat GPT that's now allowed in China, and I can guarantee you that thing is going to outpace and outgrow Chat GPT within the next year to 6 months. And by the way, big tech is so desperate for talent that even the losers get cushy acqui-hires. That's right, you can raise a billion, flop, and still get bought for billions more. It's basically like FTX right now, but with better branding. Instead of FTX, it's more AIB, AI bubble. Okay? Now, let's go ahead, make like a condom, and wrap this up so you guys can get back to choking down that dry turkey that your mom or your aunt or your cousin has been working on all day, but you're going to say that it was delicious. So, this Thanksgiving, maybe take a moment to look around the table and appreciate what we do have. We have jobs for some of us, we have a stock market for now, we have AI until it replaces us. And we have family, even the ones who think the tariffs are a part of a deep state plot involving cranberry sauce. Yes, they still are your family, unfortunately. But most importantly, we have each other. And the comforting knowledge that no matter how bad things get, some tech bro somewhere is raising $3 billion wearing a Patagonia vest and drinking a matcha for an AI that can describe a picture of your dog. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I hope you have a great day. Be grateful, be skeptical, wear a condom, and tip your delivery drivers. They're probably the seasonal workers that did not get hired by Target. I'm Max Pitts. This is Trades and Gains. I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving. Love you all. Thank you for 740 subscribers. Next stop, 1,000. By the way, I will be also releasing some giveaways over on the Investor Central Club channel. We are about 280 subscribers away from 5,000. If we get that channel to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year, one lucky member and subscriber from our YouTube channel on Investor Central Club will get a full year comped. That's almost $1,000, if not more than $1,000 in value for free. We're only 280 subs away. Any help helps. And let's see if we can get this channel to 1,000. Anyways, happy holidays. I hope you have a great one. Like, subscribe, comment. Comment, show some pictures of your Thanksgiving plates, and we'll rate them in the comments. All right. Have a great day, everybody.